Hello, this is Perry Mink. It is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020, about 3:50 in the afternoon. And this is For the People video. And I'm helping the people and people in law enforcement that aren't aware of how this cruel Catholic MO operates. It's a supremist terrorist regime. And so in each one of these videos, not only am I giving a current development of what's happening, I'm also giving information to help understand the other cases that I've discovered here in this community, in Contra Costa County, California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, and how they operate by perpetrating their scams and schemes. So today I still don't have gas. I did get another email from the VA, and I posted that on Facebook. And again, it's just absurd. I emailed, she told me to contact PG&E. What I did was I informed them again that the issues, the inquiry before in August, the issue of the mega increase in the kilowatts was never addressed. And so I still, had to deal with the billing that was excessively high based on that the kilowatts were excessively high. In that same email, I let them know that on that day was when the PG&E technician came out, and then all of a sudden there's no gas. Then I tried to get my new phone activated again, and so this time I thought, okay, well, let me try turning on the phone, and it works. And I was able to transfer information over from not my last phone, but the one before that. And I was able to set it up so I could even have a password. But then I noticed when I checked on the new carrier, which is Affinity Cellular, it still says that the phone number has not transferred over. And then so I went over to Metro PCS to see if I could call them, because now I have his phone. And then the phone number went through, but then the message is so like distorted that you can't understand what it's saying, so you wouldn't know what would you do. It's just like, then it stops, the message stops. So I posted that on Facebook. So the phone is right here. I already put my new protective, this part around it already. And so technically, the phone will not work at all in 30 days. So that would make it on September 28th, I believe, which is when I signed up for it through Affinity Cellular, because they're not transferring the phone over from Metro PCS, and there's no way for me to get a hold of Metro PCS. So either way, it's a trap. They're going to take the money, and then I still don't get services. So that is something that comes from this mafia, and I'm still posting on Facebook to get help with this. Well, so far I don't have anybody from the government contacting me and explaining to me, that these issues will be corrected, and that the bad people, the mobsters, the criminals in the government are being handled according to law, and that they're now in custody, and then we're safe here. They did this to my senior client, Kathy, And, you know, it's disturbing. And why would the white people do this to white people? Well, one reason is because they're Catholic. And so they teach us in the Catholic school. So an Irish Catholic family like the O'Malleys is going to do that to white people. Or you have like the Italian Catholics, like the Marcianos, and then they're going to attack these other white people. Or you have the Mexican Catholics like Guy Swanger, and then he's going to attack all these people. So they join in together, and then they just keep attacking us in the community. And then you wonder, why do these non-Catholics, like my landlord, join in? And then he was probably either terrorized over the years or converted through that method, or he, you know, has friends that are Catholic too, which is what Don Peckham was doing, and he's not Catholic. And his friend, who's probably passed away now, he was at their wedding with my senior client Kathy, who was married to the retired state investigator, and his friend from childhood is Catholic, and he was attending St. Perpetua Catholic Church in Lafayette, California, here, just not too far from here, where I lived for about a year. And he didn't even know who St. Perpetua was. And I had to, or I did, during our pre-wedding luncheon at our table, I spoke about who St. Perpetua was to the whole group, but just quietly. It wasn't anything that I was like wanting to make anybody feel bad because they didn't know who St. Perpetua was. But he influenced him greatly, because at the wedding, his friend, this Catholic, was slandering Kathy, acting like she's a prostitute. This is how wicked this is, how ugly, how violent, how volatile, just so evil. So I want to talk about I'll keep you posted. I have to deal with CalFresh, and that was another thing that happened. Somebody through the government had, without notifying me, increased the monthly CalFresh EBT food stamps to a very high amount. And on my last visit to the grocery store at a Safeway, I think this was in Pleasant Hill, I used the EBT card, and it didn't dawn on me that this amount had changed. And so it took me by surprise, and then I noticed it on the receipt. But what was so weird about it was it didn't pay for my entire Safeway charge. So my Safeway bill was $72.67, and then I used the EBT card without realizing, I had forgotten, because prior to using this, which was on July 28th, let's see, where's the date on here? July 28th, 2020, I had noticed that the amount was different before. And then I said, okay, I'll just do $16 a month. And then for some reason, I had like one of my panic moments, because they just terrorize me everywhere I go, and I have to be like high alert, and then it just caught me off guard. But what was so peculiar about this was that when I got the receipt, it only accepted $52.17 for the EBT food stamp, but my total was $72.67. And then with the SNAP balance, it says $690.36. I don't know if you could see this. Let's see if does it. And so I have documentation of the notices that I received from the county for the food stamps that shows what they approved me for. So I have to go in because this is the annual recertification. And then I got this earlier this month. But I also got, where did I put it? I got another one just yesterday, and it's telling me that they changed my EBT amount from $16 to 20 something dollars a month. So when I go in, I'll take that in with me, and since this charge in July, the end of July, I haven't used the EBT card. So technically, if I added it up, I'm off like about $4 too much. So they did that to me like last year, and it just threw me off guard, but it was like a much smaller amount. So, and then I think I went over like by $3 or something like that. But they keep doing this, and it's totally illegal. The government has recruited criminals, and what they're doing is they're setting up the people in the community who are receiving government-assisted programs, and then all of a sudden they're just taking them into custody, and it's them that's doing it. I don't have control over this. They're the ones that put it on there. I didn't put on here $690 or $700. If you add what was paid for, the $52.17. It's let's see, I added it up here. So if you add up the amount that it paid, $52.17, plus the $690.36, it comes out to $742.53. I didn't put that on there. They did. So if you go shopping and you say, hey, they increased my food stamps to now I have $742 on there, and then you go spend it, then they're going to come back at you and say, we found out that you are receiving more food stamps than you are to be receiving, but you spent it, so now you're a fraudster and we're charging you, and now you're a criminal and you're going to prison. I mean, this is what they're doing to us. Okay, well, I didn't spend it, and they need to correct it. They need to correct it. All right, so the second case that I was referring to in this 2-case homework assignment to, that has to do with the homework assignment on August 28th. Once you understand what this cruel Catholic MO is, you'll be able to identify prominent white men who have been tortured, terrorized, and destroyed, and you could apply this to black men. And you could probably find Asian men or other people. You could find probably Armenians and Greeks and Polish people and all kinds of people. You could probably find that they've targeted them. The main terrorists here are coming from the Italians, they're coming from the Irish, and they're coming from the Mexicans. So that's the the primary, how shall I say, the primary leaders that are destroying us here. And it goes up to the top. It goes up to Nancy Pelosi. All right, so the second case, I'm just going to briefly describe it because I still need to research about it because it is much more difficult. So it's similar in that the husband and wife and children are, the husband is white, the wife is Asian, so the children are multiracial, and so it's a multiracial marriage. They are a married couple. It is a local case in that it is here in the East Bay, in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's also similar in that the people involved are intelligent people. They are helping others. They had a like a history of helping others and but also providing services. The end result though is different. That and this is what I would like more enforcement on. So the terrorists are using a very wicked, diabolical, insidious recruiting process where they get other people to terrorize the main target. Okay, so this part of it is different than this Youngstrom case, the actual, him dying. Now, what happened to him at the church or at his workplace, I don't know, making him high on the hit list. This one is a little bit different in that the terrorists are terrorizing people to the point that they would commit suicide. And I would like to see enforcers and our government speak about this in public and stopping these terrorists so that they don't put these people into pushing them into a corner, hoping to watch this movie play out that the person would then commit suicide. And I believe that Mark Kuhn, the Concord, California city attorney, was targeted, and he's Catholic. He does come from a Catholic family, and so I don't know the dynamics of his family. They're from New Zealand, and what they were being put through once they moved here, were they recruited ahead of time? I don't know those aspects, elements, the very detailed parts of their family as to why they came here. I do know that other Catholics at upper levels are recruiting other Catholics to then carry out their terrorist operations. So the other similarity with this married couple, this multiracial married couple, is that they were also attending a church. However, this church that they were attending is one of the churches that Catholics had been, wiggling into over the years, and really kind of, and I did write about this in one of my part articles, one of the series in the part articles, that changed them to be Catholic. And I don't understand fully it's a church that it's not like the community Bible churches that work independently. This is a church that has like a how do they call it? They work off of a system that comes from the whole group. So if your church is in this city, and it's also in this city, and it's in that state, and that state, and that state, they're all like from one. I'm sorry, I just can't think of the term right now, but it's just under one church. So that's what I'm going to speak about, that particular case. It's a sad case. It is a very sad case, but it is much more difficult to understand how that, what actually happened. What are the signs? What are the indicators? What is it that we can identify? And so the end result, though, I believe that once we can identify how these terrorists are perpetrating this type of terrorism, where the play, right, this movie play, end result is that the target commits suicide, I believe that the instigator, the behind the scenes people that are concocting this, that are building this up, need to be indicted and convicted and put in prison under murder charges. You know, I don't understand how the how our laws work regarding this type of death. All right, so thank you for listening, and Winnie is, you know, he's you know, I don't want to say he is doing better. He's maintaining. I still don't have help for him, and I still can't get medical care myself. I'm still being terrorized. It needs to be shut down. Homeland Security needs to make public announcements. We need to be able to protect ourselves. And this country is about our individual rights. And these Catholics have completely destroyed the American dream. And if this is an issue about population control and this population explosion, then talk about it rationally. Don't just start coming up with your own ways of getting rid of people, claiming you're the supreme ones, and then you just start picking and choosing who you want to kill off. All right, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I will keep you posted. And please, we need millions of people, learn, prepare, be brave, inform others, outsmart them, and regain our rights. All right, thank you for all your support. Signing off for now.